Hey guys, off the Mike Sports Network here, another edition of Browns thoughts here. Um, so the NFL Combine is happening. Um, Quarterbacks are set to be, talking to the media. It will mean Shador Sanders. It'll mean Cam Ward. It'll mean Will Howard. It'll mean Jalen Milrow. Some of these other guys, Tyler Shuck. Um, but I got to tell you guys something. I've had a change of heart in the last few days, and a lot of it's based off of seeing the way that the draft board has, moved and, some of the evaluations from a lot of scouts. I am more open than ever to the idea of Cam Ward being the future quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. That being said, I don't know if he's going to be as good as, some of the other guys that have been taken in recent years. But if the Browns clearly see something in him and they want to take him and there are things there that can be molded into a great quarterback, and he doesn't have the Sanders name, he doesn't have all the stigma, he isn't overrated. For a while last year, Cam Ward was thought to be the Heisman Trophy, like the guy who was going to potentially win the Heisman Trophy, and then Miami fell apart. So I am more open to the possibility of this happening. And I know some people will come at me and call me a hypocrite, saying, but guys, I am allowed to change my opinion in certain cases. And I've always been a fan of Cam Ward. I got to interview him a couple times when he was at Washington State. He's an unbelievably talented kid. Took the route from Incarnate Ward to Washington State to Miami. This guy is a great quarterback, and he was a great quarterback. He set a bunch of records at the collegiate level. I just didn't understand this propaganda push for Shador Sanders. And everybody was sort of assuming that the Tennessee Titans were going to take Cam Ward number one. That doesn't seem to be a guarantee at this point. Although Abdul Carter being injured and a lot of questions about what the hell a stress reaction is have come into evaluation. So maybe Travis Hunter, who was the Heisman Trophy winner, comes into play at number one. He is a generational talent. But if you're the Cleveland Browns, if you like Cam Ward, I'm okay with it. I'm not going to be over the moon about it. It's not going to be like, hey, if the Browns had an opportunity to draft Caleb Williams, I would run the card up there to take Caleb Williams or even Jaden Daniels or Drake May or any one of the quarterbacks last year. Maybe not JJ McCarthy. I've always been kind of lukewarm on him, and maybe not Bo Nix because there were some drawbacks with Bo Nix, and he went to like the perfect situation in Denver. But I think I've sort of changed my tune a little bit on this because it's clear that the Browns are going to need to have some sort of a plan moving forward. I don't know if Cam Ward will start in 2025. I don't even know if he'll need to start in 2025. And if you bring in a veteran quarterback like a Kirk Cousins, and people will freak out about me bringing that up, it's only for a year or two, maybe at the most. And then you hand the chains off to Cam Ward. And if it works out, it works out. I'd be much more comfortable with that over potentially having Shador Sanders come to this organization, not really be interested. I think he's overrated. I think there are some questions about how he was on the board in terms of evaluating plays and drawing things up. I just think hey, if Shador Sanders didn't have the Sanders name, he wouldn't be thought of this highly. He had a bigger platform because of his dad. Cam Ward's a self-made guy. I gave you guys his journey. Incarnate Word to Washington State to Miami. That is a hell of a journey. And hey, if he's open to the possibility, and yeah, there's going to have to be some things coached out of him. He's very much a freelance quarterback, but he makes some really good throws. And a lot of people in the scouting community are a lot. I've heard recently are a lot more higher on Cam Ward than I thought. And that's why I've kind of reversed my opinion. I also didn't think Cam Ward was going to be available. I honestly thought Tennessee was going to take him number one. That seems to be very open for interpretation right now. So if you're a Browns fan, I'm more open to the possibility of taking a quarterback. But to me, it's Cam Ward or bust. Or you trade back and you potentially look at some of the later options like, a Tyler Shuck, a Jackson Dart, or somebody else. But the only guy that I'm even considering as a quarterback taking at number two is Cam Ward. That's the only person I'm taking at number two as a quarterback. Either that, If Abdul Carter's there, I would consider it. Obviously, the health is a little bit of a concern. Maybe I'd take Travis Hunter. Um, it's too early for Ashton Jeanty at number 2, but if that came to the point and they liked, the running back from Boise State, I'd trade back and consider trying to get him there. If you trade back, get Mason Graham, defensive lineman who caused havoc for Ohio State for many years in Michigan. I would love that possibility. So, anyway, that's my thoughts here for the Browns right now. We'll see how the combine goes, see how everything goes there. And I will get back to you with some more coverage here, Cleveland Browns, as we head towards the NFL draft and free agency. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.